My beloved child, stop for a moment and listen to me. Before your thoughts wander, before fear tries to speak louder than truth, before the weight you carry presses deeper into your heart, I am calling you now. I know where you are standing. I know what you have been facing in silence. I know the questions you ask when no one is listening, and the tears you wipe away when you believe no one sees. But I see you. I have always seen you. Even when you felt forgotten, even when you thought you were walking alone, my presence never left you. I did not step away when you were weak. I did not turn my face when you doubted. I stayed. I remained. I covered you when you could not cover yourself. The battles you survived were not accidents. The moments you thought would destroy you but did not were proof that my hand was holding you when you could no longer hold on. You have been stronger than you realize, not because of your own strength, but because I carried you when your legs trembled. I watched you endure pain that should have broken you, and yet you are still here, still breathing, still reaching for hope. That is not coincidence. That is my protection. You may not understand why the road has been difficult, why delays have tested your patience, or why certain doors closed when you were sure they should open. But hear me clearly now. Nothing in your life has been wasted. Every tear, every waiting season, every silent prayer has been counted. I am shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you for what lies ahead. There are things coming into your life that require the depth you now carry. There are blessings approaching that demand wisdom, humility, and courage, qualities formed in the fire, not in comfort. Do not measure my love by the absence of struggle. Measure it by the fact that you are still standing. The enemy tried to stop you, to confuse you, to convince you that you were unworthy, unloved, or abandoned, but he failed. You are still here because I said your story is not finished. I am not done with you. What I have begun in your life, I will complete. Rest your heart in this truth. When you were weak, I was strong for you. When you could not fight, I fought on your behalf. When you had no words left to pray, I understood the cry of your spirit. Stay close to me now. Trust me fully. What is coming will make sense of everything that came before. I am with you. I always have been, and I always will be. My child, stop for a moment and breathe. Do not rush past this message as if it were ordinary, because it is not. I have waited for this moment with you. I have watched you carry burdens that were never meant to crush your spirit. I have seen the quiet strength you show when no one else notices. I know the questions you do not ask out loud, the fears you hide behind courage, and the tears you wipe away before anyone sees them. You have wondered if I hear you. You have questioned if I still see you. Hear me now clearly and without doubt. I have never taken my eyes off you. Not once. Not when you stumbled. Not when you doubted me. Not when you felt undeserving of my love. I stayed when others walked away. I stood guard when you were too exhausted to fight. I covered you when you could not see a way forward. Even in moments you thought were punishment, I was protecting you from things you could not yet understand. You have been walking through a season that required endurance, not speed, and I know how hard that has been for you. You wanted answers quickly, you wanted change immediately, but I was teaching you something deeper: trust without sight, faith without proof, obedience without applause. You were growing roots where others only grow leaves. That is why the wind did not uproot you. That is why the storm did not destroy you. You survived because I anchored you. There were days when you felt weak, days when fear whispered that you were failing, days when the enemy told you that nothing would change. But even then, I was working behind the scenes, arranging moments, aligning people, closing doors that would have harmed you, and preparing blessings that required your patience. You did not see my hand, but it was there. You did not feel my strength, but it carried you. You did not hear my voice, but I was speaking through every delay and every detour. Do not misunderstand me. Your pain was not meaningless. Your tears were not ignored. Every tear that fell from your eyes was collected. Every prayer spoken through exhaustion reached my heart. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be for what is coming. I am shaping your character, sharpening your discernment, strengthening your spirit. I am teaching you to recognize my voice above all others. Soon you will look back and realize that what felt like a setback was actually preparation. What felt like rejection was redirection. What felt like silence was instruction. And what felt like weakness was the moment I showed my strength through you. I need you to understand something important now. When you were weak, I stayed. When you doubted yourself, I believed in you. When you felt unworthy, I called you chosen. When you thought you had failed, I saw perseverance. Nothing you went through was wasted. Nothing you survived was meaningless. I am shaping you into someone who will walk with discernment, who will stand with authority, and who will carry peace even in the middle of storms. Do not look back with regret. Look forward with trust. I am not finished with you yet. What I am building in you will last longer than the pain that tried to stop you. Stay close to me now. Guard your heart. Be careful where you place your attention. Not every voice deserves space in your spirit. Listen for my guidance. It will come gently, not in fear, not in pressure, but in truth. I am leading you step by step, even when the path feels unclear. Trust me enough to move forward even when you don't have all the answers. I will provide what you need at the right time. I will strengthen you when you grow tired. I will protect you when you feel exposed. You are not alone. You have never been alone, and you will never be alone. I am with you, and I always will be. This will happen in 1 hour. Someone will give you a surprise in your life. Open before the next 10 seconds. My beloved child, stop right now. Do not scroll. Do not look away, for this moment is not an accident. I, the Lord your God, have placed this message right in front of your eyes, because heaven has set a divine timer over your life. You are not here by chance. You were drawn here by my Spirit, because what I am about to release into your life will unfold within 1 hour from now. Yes, 1 hour. Something you have prayed for, something you thought was gone, something you quietly gave up on, I am bringing it back in a way that will surprise you. Someone will appear in your life carrying what I have promised you, and it will be a sign that I have never left your side. My child, listen. You have asked me, Lord, when will I see proof that you still hear me? This is that proof. This message is the door between what was and what is about to be. Within the next 10 seconds, as you open, you have been ordered to open, and hearts have been moved into position. I am speaking to you now, not in riddles, not in distant promises, but in the language of time itself. This will happen in 1 hour. Do you feel that stirring inside you? That sudden awareness that something unseen is moving? That is my Spirit confirming that this is your moment. Heaven has sent a divine message to show you that I have not forgotten you. The promise that seemed delayed has not died. It has been ripening, waiting for the hour that has now arrived. My beloved, the reason I tell you to open this message before the next 10 seconds pass is because timing matters in the Spirit. You are standing on the threshold of a divine intersection where obedience and faith meet destiny. Every second that passes carries weight. I am calling your heart into alignment with heaven's clock. Do not treat this word as ordinary, for it is not ordinary. It is alive, and it has been waiting for your eyes, your ears, and your spirit to be ready. When I say in 1 hour, it is not a vague promise. It is a divine appointment. Something will shift. Someone will be moved by my hand to bring into your life the evidence of my faithfulness. You have endured a long season of silence, wondering if I still remembered your name. You have asked for signs, begged for confirmation, longed for something that would prove I was still near. And now here I am, speaking directly into your waiting. I know how your heart has grown, weary of hoping. I know the nights when tears burned your eyes, and you whispered, "Maybe this is not for me." But my child, you were never forgotten. You were not overlooked. I was shaping the blessing, arranging the details, softening the hearts of those who would carry my surprise to you. And now the hour has come. The surprise will not be small. It will be marked by peace. It will carry the warmth of my presence. It will come through a person, an opportunity, a message, or a moment that will leave no doubt in your mind that I, the Lord, have done this. Within the next hour, something will turn in your favor. The conversation that you thought would never happen will begin. The door that you thought was locked will open. The heart that you thought was closed will soften. The answer that you thought was lost will appear. But listen to me. Do not rush away from this word. Do not let distraction steal it. Stay with me. I am in this moment with you. The enemy will try to whisper that this is coincidence, that nothing can happen so quickly, that you are foolish to believe. But I say to you, the same voice that spoke light into darkness, the same power that raised the dead, the same hand that calms storms is moving on your behalf right now. The countdown has already begun, and the blessing is in motion. Faith is what keeps it flowing toward you. Fear delays it, distraction diverts it. That is why I call you to focus your heart on me in this moment. My precious one, you have asked me for signs again and again, and I have given you one now. This message, these words, this timing, none of it is random. I chose this second, this minute, this hour to remind you that my plans for you are not buried under the weight of time. I am the Lord of time. I do not delay without purpose, and I never arrive too late. You are stepping into the hour that will make sense of your waiting. Keep your heart open. Do not despise small beginnings. Watch how I turn what felt like an ending into a beginning that will fill you with wonder. Even now, as you read, I am stirring hearts around you. I am prompting someone to remember your name, to reach out, to open their hand toward you. I am shifting minds that once said no to now say yes. I am setting divine surprises in motion that will catch you off guard, but will feel exactly right when they arrive. It may be a message, a phone call, a face you thought you had lost forever, an open door that seemed sealed shut. It may be peace that floods your chest without warning. It may be favor that appears in the place where you were once rejected. Whatever form it takes, you will know it will carry my signature. So I tell you again, my beloved, do not move from this moment lightly. Take a breath, let your spirit settle, feel the nearness of my presence. Heaven has counted down to this hour. I am aligning your path with my promise. The surprise that is coming is not a random gift. It is the answer to prayers you prayed when no one else was listening. You thought I was silent, but I was working. You thought I was late,
but I was preparing something better than what you asked for. The waiting was not punishment, it was preparation, and now the hour of fulfillment has arrived. Stay expectant, keep your heart soft. Within the next hour, you will see my goodness in a way that you have never seen it before. When it happens, whisper a quiet thank you, and remember this moment. The moment I told you, open before the next 10 seconds, for your hour has come. Common Father, you are my greatest joy, my guiding light, if He has brought peace and hope into your life. My beloved child, listen to me now, for I speak not to frighten you, but to bless you. I do not come to your heart with threats or fear, but with love that heals, with peace that settles, and with hope that lifts you again. My words carry life, not dread. When I reach for you like this, it is not because I am angry, it is because I am deeply moved by your pain. I have watched your days unfold, one by one. I have seen your tears when you thought no one was looking. I have counted every prayer that rose from your lips, even the ones that you gave up finishing because you were too tired to believe they still mattered. I was there when you tried to smile while your heart ached inside. I was there when you laid your head on the pillow and wished the night would end faster. I was there when you wondered if I still cared, if your name was still written on my heart. You have not been invisible to me, my child. You have not been forgotten. You have not been overlooked. I have been nearer to you than your own breath, walking beside you when you thought you walked alone, holding you steady when your strength was fading. This message that has found you now is not random. It is not a lucky scroll, not a coincidence. It was written into time long before you were born. Heaven itself scheduled this encounter, and all of creation has aligned to bring you to this moment. I have chosen these very words, this very hour, and this very way to speak to you. You were meant to hear this now, not later, not someday, now. This is a divine appointment, an answer to cries that seemed unanswered, a response to prayers that never reached another human ear but were heard clearly in mine. My beloved, the surprise I am speaking of has already been released from heaven. It is not being planned, it is already in motion. The answer is traveling toward you as you listen to me. It may not come in the way you imagine, but it will come in the way you need. The person I am sending, the opportunity I am opening, the healing I am releasing, all of it is unfolding according to my perfect design. I have not forgotten your petitions. I have not ignored your faith. The divine surprise you have longed for will be more than you expected, because I do not give halfway. When I bless fully. When I open the door, no one can shut it. You have said to me, Lord, I have been waiting for so long. I know, my child, I know how heavy waiting can be. I know how hope can fade when the days stretch without change. But I promise you, no waiting done in faith is wasted. Every second has been used by my hand to shape you, prepare you, and set in place what you are about to receive. The delay was never denial. It was my mercy giving you time to grow strong enough to hold what I am sending. If I had given it sooner, it might have slipped from your
Chosen one, this message you about to hear is a divine revelation from the throne room of heaven. What you are sensing right now is not imagination. It is not emotion. It is alignment. God Himself arranged this moment because there is a specific window of time tied to your destiny, and heaven does not want you confused, distracted, or unprepared. What is coming is not random. God said it is all planned for the end of January. There are things you have been questioning, delays you couldn't explain, doors that refused to open no matter how hard you prayed. But hear this clearly. The silence was not denial, and the delay was not rejection. Heaven was scheduling. God was positioning people, shifting circumstances, and closing paths that would have cost you later. What looks slow on earth has been strategic in heaven. Nothing about your life right now is accidental. When God gives a time marker, it means preparation has already begun behind the scenes. Angels are already assigned. Resistance has already been addressed. The pieces you couldn't see are moving into place. By the end of January, clarity will replace confusion, direction will replace uncertainty, and what felt like waiting will suddenly feel like acceleration. This is not hype. This is heaven keeping an appointment it already booked. Before we go further, if your spirit confirms this word, act on it now. Like this message as your agreement. Subscribe so you don't miss the next word heaven releases. Drop your city and nation in the comments so we can see where the remnant is rising. And for those who are supporting us and sowing into this prophetic ministry, whether through the link pinned in the comment section or the super thanks feature, understand this. You are not just a giver, you are a co-laborer. We are partners in this divine assignment. Your seed is not random, it is a prophetic yes. It is you saying, God, I trust your timing and I align with what you have planned. May your seed speak in places your voice cannot reach and secure doors you haven't even knocked on yet. Now stay with me. Don't scroll away, because in the next moments, we are going to go deeper into what God has planned, why it had to wait until the end of January, and how to position yourself so you don't miss what heaven has already decided. When you hear this fully, you'll understand why God refused to let you pass this moment by. Chosen one, understand this first and do not rush past it. Not everyone will feel the weight of this message. Not everyone will grasp the urgency of this word. Not everyone will recognize the fire that rests within it. That does not make others inferior. It simply means this word is not addressed to everyone. Heaven speaks selectively when assignment is involved. Some hear sound. Others hear summons. Jesus himself made this distinction clear in Matthew 13:1 when he said, "The knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them." This statement was not rooted in pride or exclusion. It was rooted in purpose. Revelation is given according to calling. God entrusts deeper truth to those who are meant to carry it, not merely observe it. This is not arrogance. This is assignment. Curiosity listens casually. Calling listens carefully. If this message stirs something in you, if it feels weighty, pressing, or impossible to ignore, it is because something in you recognizes heaven's frequency. You are not reacting emotionally, you are responding spiritually. Your spirit knows when it is being addressed directly. Your spirit is responding before your mind fully understands, and that order matters. God speaks to identity before information. He awakens who you are before he explains what you must do. Understanding will come, but recognition comes first. And the fact that you recognize this word is evidence that you are meant to hear it, not as a spectator, but as one who has been chosen to respond. One of the greatest lies the enemy uses against the chosen is the lie of delay. He does not usually deny God outright. Instead, he questions God's timing. He whispers, if God was really with you, it would have happened already. He points at others and says, look, they're moving ahead of you. He taunts your mind with, you're running out of time. These thoughts are designed to create anxiety, comparison, and discouragement, but they are rooted in a false understanding of how God works. God is not bound by clocks, calendars, or human timelines. He authored time itself. Time answers to him, not the other way around. What feels slow to you is not late to God. What feels delayed is often being deliberately protected. God does not rush outcomes that require maturity, alignment, and readiness. He is far more concerned with when something happens than how fast it happens. Scripture makes this unmistakably clear in Galatians 4:4, which says, "But when the fullness of time had come, God sent forth his Son." Notice that phrase, fullness of time. Jesus did not come early, and he did not come late. He came at the precise moment when prophecy, preparation, and purpose aligned perfectly. Heaven waited until timing itself was complete. So when God says it's all planned by the end of January, he is not guessing, testing, or adjusting on the fly. He is declaring precision. He is telling you the timing is mature, the conditions are aligned, and the preparation is complete. What is coming is not late. It is exact, and because it is exact, it will arrive with power, clarity, and lasting impact. The end of January represents something deeply prophetic, not just chronological. January is a threshold month. It stands at the doorway between intention and manifestation. It is where expectation meets reality, where declarations made at the beginning of the year are tested by daily obedience. January reveals what is genuine. January is also where hope is tested by patience. Many people begin the year with excitement, clarity, and confidence, but as days pass and results do not appear immediately, doubt tries to settle in. Prayers feel unanswered, momentum feels slow, enthusiasm fades. This is not accidental, it is revealing. The weight exposes what kind of faith a person is carrying. Faith that celebrates beginnings or faith that endures process. That is why God often moves at the end, not the beginning. Beginnings attract crowds, but endings reveal commitment. God separates those who only start with faith from those who finish with trust. Anyone can believe when things are fresh and hopeful. Fewer can believe when patience is required. End-of-season faith is heavier, pure, and more mature, and God responds to that kind of faith. Scripture confirms this principle in James 1:4, which says, "Let patience have her perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing." God allows the wait not to frustrate you, but to finish you. He uses patience to deepen capacity, so that when the blessing arrives, it does not overwhelm you. What comes at the end of January is not just a gift, it is something you are now strong enough to sustain. Chosen one, let this truth burn into your mind and settle deep in your spirit. When God is silent, He is never idle. Silence is not absence, and it is certainly not rejection. God does His deepest work in silence because construction requires focus, not noise. While you wait, heaven is moving. While you wonder, God is working. His silence is not a pause, it is preparation unfolding where you cannot yet see it. Behind the scenes, God is rearranging systems, hearts, doors, and destinies. He is aligning people you haven't met yet, removing obstacles you don't know existed, and preparing outcomes you could not have planned on your own. Silence protects the process from interference. If you saw everything God was doing at once, you might rush, interfere, or rely on yourself instead of trusting Him fully. Think of Joseph. He was silent in the pit, silent in the prison, silent while forgotten by those he helped. No explanations, no timelines, no updates. Yet heaven was busy every single moment. God was positioning Joseph, shaping his character, and aligning him with a future role that required wisdom, restraint, and endurance. Silence was not delay. It was development. Years later, Joseph could finally say, in Genesis 50:20, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." What once felt like wasted time revealed itself as intentional training. Every silent season refined Joseph so he could carry authority without arrogance and power without bitterness. What felt hidden was actually strategic. God often hides His greatest works until the last moment, so no flesh can take credit. Silence removes human boasting and magnifies divine precision. When the breakthrough comes, it will be clear that it could not have been orchestrated by human effort alone. What you thought was wasted time was actually hidden construction. And when God finishes what He's building, the result will speak louder than any explanation ever could. Many people chase emotional highs, believing that intensity equals progress. But God does not build destinies on feelings. He establishes them on appointments. Emotional moments rise and fall, but divine schedules stand firm. What God is preparing for you is not dependent on your mood today or how confident you sound tomorrow. It is anchored in His authority, not your emotional state. This is why peace, not hype, often surrounds real breakthrough. When God plans something, it does not depend on your mood. It does not depend on your strength. It does not depend on who supports you or who doubts you. Human variables do not control divine outcomes. God is not waiting for you to feel perfect, bold, or fearless before He moves. He moves according to His word and His timing, not your emotional readiness. Scripture makes this unshakably clear in Isaiah 55:11, where God says, "So shall my word be that goes forth from my mouth. It shall not return to me void." That means when God speaks, execution follows. His word carries completion within it. It does not come back empty-handed. It accomplishes exactly what He sent it to do, regardless of resistance, delay, or doubt. So if God said it's planned, Heaven has already signed off on it. What you are waiting for is not approval, it is manifestation. The decision has already been made in the spiritual realm. The schedule has already been set. What feels uncertain to you is settled in heaven. This is not wishful thinking, it is divine order.